There's so many red flags.
So she wants to be able to date other people, but she doesn't want you to.
And she's very open with the other guys she's talking to. And she'll throw it in my face like, he bought me a PlayStation.
He bought me a PlayStation?
Yeah.
She's dating other people. She's rubbing it in your face, basically dangling it in front of you to get you to buy her things. You need to end it with her. She is a walking red flag.
Hi, I'm Shawn. I'm 34. I'm an entrepreneur from Long Island, New York, and you're watching Help Me, I'm Single.
Very cool. Shawn, thank you for being here.
Awesome. I'm excited.
It's your first time in Austin, and you said you got out and about a little bit yesterday?
Yeah, so I arrived around noon yesterday, but I was tired from my flight, so I took a nap. Ended up having dinner at Lambert's. It was very good. I ate at the bar. There was an older lady, she's like 42. And she started talking to me. She was also from New York. She moved here a couple years ago and she's recently divorced. And we were going through like some similar stuff. So we started talking.
Are you divorced?
I was engaged. So I'm just have like a 9-year relationship.
Okay. How long have you been single?
For the last 8 months.
Okay. Very fresh.
Yeah. And I didn't like jump right into it. So like I'm trying to relearn like the whole dating stuff. Because last time I was single, I was in my like early 20s. It feels a lot different now. So I was just chatting with the lady last night and like, do you want to go back to my place or your place? Kind of like hit off pretty well.
Okay. I mean, it sounds like it went pretty well.
Yeah. And then,
were you into her? Was she attractive?
Yeah. So like we're sitting at the bar and then we walk outside. Like she called a lift for her place.
Okay, so you were thinking you might go.
Yeah. But like when you're sitting down like this, you don't know like how tall people are. We stood up and she was like 6'3". And I'm like 5'9". And like she immediately asked like if it was weird for me.
Like neither of you knew and you both stood up and you're like, wait.
Yeah, nothing was like really said other than like she was like asking me if it was weird. And I was like, no, not really, I don't care. And then we're standing outside, her lift's about to arrive and she's just like, you're really young. Like, I think I'm just gonna like go home. Like, I don't want you to come back. Like, go downtown. Like, it was only like 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
She's like, just go downtown.
She's like, I'm releasing you from your obligations.
That's kind of like how she was doing it. Like that was the vibe.
Okay. Were you disappointed or you're like, no?
I was a little disappointed, but like.
Because you're like, I'm going to go on this show tomorrow and I'm going to be like, yeah, I got laid last night, one night in Austin.
Why am I here? I don't need any of this.
Was she drunk?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But I had like wine, so.
Okay, so let's get into it. You said you were in a 9-year relationship, broken off engagement. Talk to me about that. How old were you when you met her? What was her deal? Like, and then we got to get into why it ended.
So I was 24 when we met. Long Island, New York. She was a country line dancing instructor. So, and me and my friends were like into the country music at the time. So we would go out to the bars and she was teaching one of the dances and I would just like jump in, like try and learn. And that's how we met. Like we hit it off and we were together.
So she was your dance teacher?
She was my dance teacher. Yeah. And then we were together for 9 years. We bought a house. We're still co-parenting dogs. So the house that we live in has like a downstairs apartment. So I've been living there.
Oh, so you're living together.
This has made
you're living with your ex.
This has made dating a little bit more complicated too. So right now we're in the process of her buying the house because she wants to live there. I'm cool with it. Like I want her to live there. She's like very attached to it. I think it's the best case scenario. So right now that's happening over the next like couple months. And then I'm going to go get my own place. I'm like excited for it because like I need like that sense of freedom, like starting over like a new chapter. I haven't felt like mentally I've been able to do that while living there. We're still figuring out the dog situation because we both love them. And I would never take them from her. I don't think she would ever take them from me. I guess like the last year or so, we kind of realized we were just friends. Like we had felt like we were more roommates than like romantic partners. We tried things, went to couples therapy, stuff like that. And just, it was very amicable. So like, I felt like I grieved the loss like while we were in it. It was never really too hard. Like we're happy we're still in each other's lives. So it's kind of that.
Very amicable.
Yeah.
Just decided to go your separate ways.
Yeah.
And so when did you start dating, I guess? Like what was that like?
Between us?
No, when did you start dating like since the breakup? Because like you said you kind of grieved it as it was happening. So once you guys like called it, you move into the downstairs apartment and you're like on Hinge or what does that look like?
So I did like take a little bit of time just to before I got into it. I don't know, I just hung out with friends and just, because I didn't know like how to start dating. But I did create a Hinge profile. It's like one of the first things I did. I've been traveling. Once I got into it, I would say maybe like it took me like a month. Maybe that isn't a long time, but like
after 9 years,
it felt like a long time. I don't know.
It sounds like your relationship had kind of been over for a while.
Yeah. And I've been like traveling a lot since like, I have family in London. So like the first thing I did was I booked I like Taylor Swift. I don't know.
Okay.
It's like, and I booked the last minute, like the day of to go to the Eras tour that night.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, and I actually, this was like what kicked off like the dating, because it was like the first time I like talked to someone new. And I was at the airport and there was a girl just waiting. She was wearing like a Taylor Swift hoodie. And I'm like, are you going to the show? Like, what's your number? Maybe we'll meet up for the show. And she was like, give me your number. She was like into it. We met up at a bar before the concert.
Swifties in love.
Yeah. She did tell me that like she was in like a long-term relationship like right away. So I was like, oh.
You were like, why are we here?
And this was like barely.
She actually had a boyfriend?
Yeah, because I still talk to her. Like we're still like close friends.
You guys are like just Swiftie pals?
Yeah, that's kind of what it's become. So we met up after the show, went to bars like after the show.
It seems to be a theme. Like women are like, yes. Yeah. And then they're like, oh, wait, actually.
Yeah, maybe. Because see, I've thought about this. I think that's a good point. So like one of the last dates I went on, it was like a 3-phase date. We went for a full course meal, like dinner.
Wait, pause right there. Okay. Was this a first date, a second?
It's first date.
Okay.
And this was only like a month ago.
Okay.
So met on Hinge, really excited about it. We go on the first date. This place called Coastal, full course meal. And I felt like really comfortable, like myself. Like I'm talking about like Taylor Swift and I'm talking about like...
When in doubt, talk about Taylor Swift.
Like,
and you feel
but like, I'm trying to be myself, trying to be like excited. And I do feel like I give off like friend vibes a little bit because like she'll be like, I'm like, what are your favorite shows? And she'll be like Gilmore Girls. And I'll be like, oh, I know Stars Hollow and like Jessie and all of them. But I thought the date's going good.
You're like drinking a girly drink and like talking about Taylor Swift and Gilmore Girls. And you're like, I have no idea why she doesn't feel a romantic connection.
But yeah, it was going well. We went and got ices afterward, like Ralph's. It's like raining outside. We're walking through town. Like there was romantic. And I'm trying to like be like physical, like I touch your leg and stuff, like we're holding hands.
Okay.
So yeah, even though like I love Taylor and I have my frozen drink, like I'm like also aware of like what's going on. Then we went to a bar even after that. So it was like a 3-phase thing on a first date. We had a couple drinks watching the Knicks game. And then I walked her to her car. I didn't get a kiss, and that's where it like clicked.
You didn't go for it? Or
I would have. Like, I feel like I have a good sense of like when it's open or not. It wasn't. So she did text me and she got home safe. She had a great time. And then I didn't message her the next day. Next day after that, like I texted her about possible like second date. And then she sent me a message about like not feeling like a deeper connection.
What'd she say?
Do you want me to read it? Can I read it?
Okay. Yeah. Let's just get straight to the source.
Yeah. She said, "Hi, Shawn. You're so sweet. I don't really know how to say this, but I've been thinking, and you are so great. I honestly think we'd be such great friends because you are a genuinely awesome person, but I'm not sure if I felt a connection deeper than that, and I don't want to waste your time. I really enjoyed going out with you, though, and getting to know you."
That's like a full text. That's long.
Yeah. I almost felt like that was mature for almost, because I think a lot of girls nowadays would just, they felt that way, they would just ghost.
Yeah, well, I think reading between the lines, I imagine she honestly felt that way. It sounds like you guys did have fun together. Yeah. I don't think she's like being disingenuous. I think she probably would be friends with you. Yeah. Do you have many friends who are girls?
I do have.
You have a lot? You're like, I don't actually need another friend who's a girl.
I'm not looking for friends right now.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, so let's like break down that date, because my immediate reaction when you said like it was a 3-part date, and then I was like,
it's a lot for a first date.
Too much. It's too much for a first date. Mm-hmm. So you want to leave her wanting more. If you had a great time at dinner, call it then. It is okay to set the boundary. It's like, hey, I'm actually going to meet some friends to watch the game, or like, I got to get home. I've got an early day tomorrow. Because you want to leave it where she's like, that was really fun and I want to know more about Shawn. Not like, okay, I feel like I know everything about Shawn because we hung out for 5 hours and I still don't feel a romantic spark. I should have felt it by now. Because the longer you hang out, the more the spark is expected to be there. But it's a first date. It's really hard to have that initial chemistry and connection on a first date. Mm-hmm. So by breaking that into like 3 different dates, you could have allowed that chemistry to build more over time. And then also like you can walk away from that first date and be like, okay, like I didn't, maybe build enough chemistry. I didn't wasn't physical enough. I'm going to make sure to do that next time because you'll have time to reflect on it. Where it's like, if you hang out for that long together, you never really have that chance to step back and reflect on how you could do better.
That makes a lot of sense. Because I felt like almost at the end of the date, I was like running out of things to ask.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what haven't I asked at this point?
It's way better to leave you wanting to know more about her and then her being more curious about you. Yeah. You're going to get to that second date. It's going to allow you to build more connection. And like I said, it's going to you're going to feel more comfortable the second and third time. It's naturally. So that chemistry and that spark is going to be there more. Yeah. So you don't have to go for the kiss on the first date, especially if it's short, it's less expected. But after you've hung out for 5 hours and then there's not a kiss, it's kind of like, what are we doing here? This just feels very friendly. We talked about Taylor Swift and like walked in the rain, but like, what else?
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. That's something I could work on. I almost feel like if I'm excited and I like the person, I have trouble. Like I want it to keep going.
Yeah, everyone does.
And I'm the same way, like on the
Huge
phone.
mistake.
When I'm on the phone with someone I'm dating and been talking to, like I keep it going.
Yeah.
When I should leave it, more mysterious.
Totally.
Yeah.
My challenge to you is cut it on a high note. And that goes for approaching women actually too. Like if you meet a woman out and about and you're trying to get her phone number or you want to take her on a date, don't like wait till you run out of things to talk about to be like, so can I get your number?
Yeah.
When you're on that high, when it's peaking, be like, well, I got to get back to my friends or I got to keep it moving. I'd love to get your phone number, continue the conversation over drinks. So that strategy applies like really across the board.
Yeah. And I actually definitely works because I've used that when it comes to matching on Hinge. I hate the small talk. Like you don't know who this person is. I don't know what to say. Like I'll mention something about like their prompt, but then like immediately ask for like the first date and make plans. Like,
I like
are you
that.
free? Like, because I don't want to talk myself out of a date.
Oh, yeah.
So-
I say that all the time.
Yeah.
You're more likely to text
'Cause I'm an
yourself
overthinker.
out of a date than into a date.
Mhm.
So are you meeting most of the women that you've gone out with on
Yeah.
Hinge?
Yeah. So that's been the success. Like I do convert the matches into dates.
We love that. Let's look at your Hinge
Yeah.
profile.
All right. Here you go.
Okay, perfect. Have you been doing any swiping since you arrived
Yes, I
in
have.
Austin? How's your matches been?
All the ones there are kind of from
Okay,
Austin.
You have been swiping here in Austin. Have you had more matches than usual?
I think so. Maybe because it's like new, being in a new spot.
Yeah.
I don't really know what it is.
Okay, so let's see what your profile looks like. Okay, view. Okay, no, I'm not okay with this first photo. You do look quite handsome and cute, but there's like a coat rack in the background. I do spy a Taylor Swift Eras sweatshirt hanging on said coat rack, but like we can do better for a background for your first photo. I imagine you are still doing fairly decent because you look handsome. I want to date someone who doesn't mind that I cry listening to Taylor Swift.
That's my one prompt for her.
You're only giving yourself one. You're like, okay, I can only have one. I like it. It's funny. 5'10", we've established you're in fact 5'9", but I'll give you that inch. You put your height with shoes on.
5'9", 5'10".
I like this second photo with your dogs. Very cute. What would make this photo even better if you were up for getting a new one is like just take it the same photo outside. Have a green background. Like again, like we're indoors here. There's like a fire poker and like a broomstick in the background. Like you could do better there. But I mean, the photo with the dogs and their birthday hats is like so cute. I like the hockey photo. Is that you playing hockey?
Yes.
Okay, good. Simple pleasures: sports, concerts, poker, binge watching shows, and trying new places. What's the best show you've ever been to? What I like about this is you have a call to action. You have a prompt that she can answer. What I don't like about this is it's super generic. What sports? What concerts? What shows are you watching? Like something more specific to give more specificity and things to connect on. This glasses photo, it's like a shirtless photo, but it's like not shirtless because it's like cut off here. So we're okay with it. But again, the background of all of your photos is lacking.
Okay.
It's good that you got a good head of hair. So that's like going
Do get
far.
compliments about that.
I imagine you got a good head of hair. Together, we could go on spontaneous adventures or stay in and watch movies all night. That's like a very generic and boring. Like, what type of adventures? Like, what type of movies? Like, you're like giving like two extremes and like with no preference for like which is more you. Which I get it. You're trying to be like, I can do either, but it's just like it doesn't make you stand out.
Okay.
Is this your ex in this photo? Who is
My
it?
friend Olivia. She runs a big Taylor Swift fan page, like the biggest. And like we became friends because of like she's like
Your
into
mutual
marketing.
love for Taylor
of course.
Swift.
So that was at the VMAs.
Okay, wait, she got invited because like her fan page is so like.
I invited her to the VMAs.
How did you get to go to the VMAs?
It was at UBS Arena in New York, and I have season tickets to the Islanders, like premium, like suite tickets. So they did a lottery for us.
So you got tickets.
So they did like a lottery system for us, like premium members, and like I just happened to win. And I know Olivia just from like we're just friends.
Just
and
friends.
I
She's
thought
cute. Why don't you date Olivia?
She lives in Nashville.
No long distance. It wouldn't work. You guys are
I don't know,
both
I
like
just never
extreme
thought
fist
about, like, a
Swifties. She's gorgeous.
She's very pretty.
Is she single?
I think so. Yeah.
Do you think she'd be into it?
I'm not sure. I just never thought of it that
Because
way.
she knew. Because I guess she knew you when you were with your ex.
Yes, we
Is
did
your
meet
ex a
originally.
Swiftie?
Not really.
Okay.
No. But yeah, I did meet Olivia. When
Let's
I was
call
with my
Olivia
ex.
and see what she thinks of you. Okay, another photo with your dog. Okay, at least we're outdoors in this one. Like, It's fine. It's fine as like a last sixth filler photo. I like that you actually have facial hair here because it's like showing you can be clean shaven, you can do facial hair, so that's good. Back to the Olivia photo, it's like it is giving like.
Should I not have that on there?
Yeah, I'd probably skip
no one
it.
likes that one.
Yeah, because they're like, okay, weird, he has a photo with his ex, even though she's really pretty. You look good in a suit. I would just rather you have like a photo on your own. So like, I'm a really big fan of getting a photo from an event where you're wearing a suit, like a red carpet, something like that. Should we talk more about Olivia? Like,
no, we shouldn't. She might watch this. I feel weird now.
I mean, it seems like you guys could like travel the world together and go to Taylor Swift
I've
concerts.
only seen her twice. Like that was the first
Olivia
time.
or Taylor?
Olivia.
Okay.
So Olivia I've only met twice. That was the first time.
And was there any romantic spark or?
Not really. Like that's the thing. It is more like friend vibe.
But that's like kind of your MO.
It is. So it's been like a pattern.
Okay, well, let's get more into that, but let's like talk about your Hinge a little bit more. Have you matched with anyone in Austin? Or are you gonna like go on any dates while you're here? Why don't you go on a date this afternoon?
I have. There's this one girl.
Which one? Show me.
I don't know how I feel about, so like you can see the quick conversation.
Okay. Hey, Christina, how was your weekend going so far? Okay, hate that opener. You can get a little more specific. Everyone's asking, how's your weekend? You're lucky that you got the good head of hair because you're still getting replies to it. Had a nice relaxing day. Took myself for an espresso martini and shopping at the Domain. Here for the weekend for a poker tournament. Liar.
I don't want to say I'm coming on this show.
I'm here
in
to
like
talk
a
about
Hinge conversation.
Live. No, fair enough.
I thought about it though. I wasn't sure what to say.
Definitely. Okay. You got her number? Did you text her?
No, I didn't.
Why?
I was gonna text her like after this if I wanted to meet her.
No, you got to text immediately. Otherwise, you're going to have drop off. You need to set something up for tonight. She's a cat lady. You're a dog guy. Like, why don't you text her and say, like, Christina, like, on the off chance you're free this afternoon, do you want to check out Barton Springs?
I could do that. She's cute, right?
Yeah, I think she's cute.
I could do that, or I could still just go in with the mindset of like, I don't know who I'm going to meet.
At Barton Springs.
Yeah. Then I'm committing my whole day pretty much to Christina.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
So I have to decide like what I want to do. Maybe I think
you could squeeze them in one time. It's barely noon. The day is your oyster.
Exactly. Maybe I go to Barton Springs now. It's still nice, and then see if she wants to hang out after.
Yeah, like meet for a drink or like an early dinner. Great. Okay, text her about that
right now.
Yeah, I mean, she's gonna have plans later. We gotta get this locked in.
All right, let me open it up. All right, I got it open.
Okay, here. I'll just see. Hey, Christina. It's Shawn. It's last minute, but if you're free later, it would be great to grab a drink or early dinner. Because you leave tomorrow, right?
Yeah, at noon.
Leave tomorrow midday, but have a list of places I want to try. And then we can... I'll give you that list. So I don't want you to put on her, like, where should we go? Like, you should come at it with, like, a few ideas.
Okay.
I leave tomorrow midday, but have a list of I can share ideas. It's last minute, but if you're free later, it'd be great to grab a drink or early dinner. I leave tomorrow midday, but have a list of places I want to try. I can share ideas. Send. Great, let's see what she says. How exciting. You might have a date.
It'd be great if she responds like the still here.
Yeah, hopefully she does, and we'll follow up. And then, okay, so your plan now is you're going to go to Barton. You'll meet some people there, have some conversations, and then have your date, hopefully, with Christina.
Sounds amazing.
Who knows? Maybe you'll meet someone at Barton and you can have a coffee date tomorrow before the airport.
Yeah, that would be great. That's something I'm going to work on. Since I've been single, I've been just doing a lot of like Hinge dates and stuff, but I want to get better at like approaching women in real life.
Yeah.
I feel like, I don't know, maybe it's the quality's better or the vibe's better. I want that to be like...
Absolutely. You learn so much more about them. You can see someone's one-dimensional profile and like think you have something in common or think you don't have something in common, where if you'd met them in person, like the answer might be different.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Let's practice this. Okay, let's pretend I'm sitting at the bar. I'm sitting at the bar. You walk up. Like, what's your opener? What do you say?
Hi, I noticed you from over here and had to come over and say something. My name's Shawn.
Hi, Shawn. I'm Blaine.
I'm here visiting Austin, just trying to figure out what to do.
Okay, so stop right there. We're gonna workshop.
I'm not good at role playing, by the way.
So initially, the way you came off, obviously, I get it. We're role playing. It's like an awkward situation, but it wasn't very confident. Yeah, it felt a little standoffish, like a little like you maybe felt like you were interrupting me. I thought you were cute. Like you looked away from me. I wonder if you have any recs. I wouldn't go right into the asking for recommendations. I would, because then it's like you're just coming up to her because you need something. I did tell you earlier that like a great conversation
the right
point,
moment. Yeah.
but you want to build a little bit to it.
Okay.
So come in, the confidence in the initial approach or first impression is the most important part.
Mhm.
What you say almost doesn't matter if you come off confident. And how you're going to come off confident is by looking her straight in the eye, don't look away, holding yourself high, so shoulders back, standing up straight, and then speaking with confidence. So speak loudly and firmly and like you know what you are going to say. So
Mhm.
trying to remove ums, pauses, likes, those filler words.
Yeah, I feel like in like situations like this, like I see a cute girl, whether it's at a baseball game or a bar, and like I want to approach them, I almost care too much about like the people around the girl.
No one cares.
I
No one
almost feel
cares
like her
about you.
friend. What's her friends gonna think?
Yeah.
Or like the people sitting behind us. Like
Yeah. So
oh,
assuming you approach
I almost like don't even care as much about what the girl thinks. Like I'm almost more confident about that.
Yeah.
It's like a weird thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, it's not weird. Most people feel that way. It's like
Yeah.
what keeps them from approaching is because they're worried about what other people think.
Mhm.
But I mean this with sincerity and like not in like habituate. No one cares about you. People are so engrossed with themselves and their own lives. Even if you crash and burn and say something ridiculous and aren't confident, they might think for 1 second like, oh, that was weird. They are not thinking about you later that day.
Yeah.
They will have moved on with their lives. So in that same vein, if you approach with confidence, people are going to be like, damn, that was impressive. Like, good for him. Get it. And her friends are probably going to think like, wow, like an IRL approach. Like, and they can oftentimes be your allies where they're like, girl, go out with him. Did you see that head of hair? Like, you see that Taylor Swift sweatshirt? Like,
No.
he's clearly a keeper.
That's a good mindset to have. Like
I know it's hard. It's like easier said than done. It's like, don't care what people think. Okay, like we could all take that advice and like be more confident. But truly, especially when it comes to approaching off the cuff, like no one's thinking about you after the fact. And that's what makes that should actually be a very freeing feeling. It's like, I can approach and talk to 10 women today and no one is even going to remember it unless it goes well. And then who knows, like the upside is so much higher than the downside. Because like the downside is like someone's like, oh, he's really brave, but like that didn't go well.
Yeah.
Most people are just going to be impressed though, because it is such a dying art.
Yeah. Like remember I was telling you a story about I approached the girl at the airport.
Yeah.
And like she was in a relationship, but she told me like the next time I saw her, like guys don't do that anymore. Like she was almost like surprised and like impressed that I even did.
She had a boyfriend and she still went out with you. She was so impressed.
So she did say that to me later, like, yeah, like that just does. And she's really pretty.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't believe that she told me that.
Yeah.
She said,
No, I hear that from women all the time. They want to be approached more. Not by like just anyone, but by awesome single guys like yourself. They would love for you to approach them. Clearly, even if they have a boyfriend, like it still makes them feel good. What did we learn there? You're going to approach with confidence. You're going to be a bit louder in your voice and stand up straight. Those are things that are also going to help you on dates come off as more of a suitor versus the friend zone. A friend might be a little more timid, a little more laid, like taking the back seat, where a man who is assertive and goes after what he wants and says that he's attracted to her and asks for the kiss and sets boundaries like, hey, I gotta leave. Like, this has been a great time, but like, let's do it again. Rather than taking her for ice cream and then taking her to a bar. Like, that's the guy who she's going to see as boyfriend material. Does that make sense?
It does make sense.
Does that seem doable?
It does. And like, it fits right into like the pattern I've been in.
What other dates have you been on recently? Have you been on any great or any really bad dates since your breakup?
I'd say there's been like lots of ups and downs. I've been on lots of first and second dates, not many like third and fourth dates.
Is that because you don't want a third or fourth date or because you're hearing the friend comment?
It's a little of both.
Okay.
I've kind of also like want right now is maybe just like to have fun, go on dates. And like, if it turns into something like more substantial and serious, like I'd be willing to do that. But I'm not going into like a first date thinking like, is this the person like I'm going to go on like 4 or 5 dates with?
Yeah.
Or like end up with. So that's the mindset I'm on. I'm just like keeping my options open. I'm not sure.
Yeah, you're newly single.
Yeah.
It's important, I think, to step back and figure out what you want and go on dates. Like, there's no rush to, lock it back down, buy a house with someone else and get 2 more dogs. Like,
and I was in this like situationship with someone.
Okay, tell me more.
January until like around now. So I did put a lot of like the dates on pause.
Who was the situationship with?
Met her unhinged.
We got to get you offline.
Stop. I'm
feeling good about
need
this.
more. You are? All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to have my practice later today. So.
Yeah.
So met on Hinge. It went really well, like the first few dates. And she would cancel a lot. And usually I would kind of be, you know, all right, that's it. But she'd reschedule and we go on more dates. She was very talking about the future early on. Like, I want to move to Florida. Like, would you want it long distance? Or maybe you can move in. And like, I think we like dove into things like too fast, too soon. But at the same time, like, she's like, I don't want to be exclusive.
Did you want to be exclusive?
I was like on the fringe of it. Like, I wasn't sure. Like, I really liked her a lot. And then everything changed in this. She invited me to her best friend's engagement party on the water. Great time. It was like the best, like maybe date that we had been on. Like, really feeling the chemistry. Like, it's going really well. And it was on the water. So after the engagement party was over, we go to the pier and we're like watching the sunset. It's like nice. We start kissing. She accidentally knocks her pocketbook in the water. This is early, like late February, early March in New York. So it's like freezing. She dives in the water.
No, it doesn't hesitate. Just dives
in. And I'm just like, do I go in? Like, what do I do? Like,
well, you both need to be wet, but you could have been the one to dive in. Yeah.
I had to pull her back up. And she has like cuts on her legs and stuff from like the wooden pier. And like she's soaking wet. It's like freezing.
Is she going to the after party soaking wet?
So that's still the plan. So we drive to her friend's house who got engaged.
Yeah.
Gave her a change of clothes and everything. And then we're going out to town and she needs to use my phone to like text her mom, like I lost my phone, like update her and everything. She uses this opportunity to like go through my phone. She sees my text with my ex and they're all about like the house and the dogs. But like she just didn't like that, like how often it was. Flips out. And we're out at the bar since she starts flirting with other guys in front of me. Like the whole night. Things change where she'll still like give me all the attention. And then like we went home together and like ended good.
What does ended good mean? You mean like
we like, hooked up?
Like you, okay. Yeah. We still had sex.
We still had sex that night. And after that, like it's been very like, it was like very rocky. Like it's very like toxic.
Wait, so and she was mad going back to the phone. She was mad that you didn't jump in the water after her purse.
I think she was like mostly joking about it because she gives me hard times about stuff like that. But yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I'll buy you a new phone. I'm not getting that ocean in February in New York.
You know, she was like, I need to take a step back from everything. I'm like, okay. And then we've seen each other like on and off from then. But like even though we're not seeing each other, we'll be like FaceTiming to like 3 a.m. like most nights.
What do you want from this?
Like there's so many red flags. Like I see.
Like what are the other ones?
Well, right off the bat, she was one of the ones that was like, my boundaries to my ex are a problem. I need to like move out of the house now.
No, you need to do what's right for you financially and like make sense for your life.
A month or two in and she's saying stuff like this, especially with the dog. She's like, you have to take the dogs. Like you can't co-parent the dogs. Like in the future, I'm not cool with that. And if that's her thing, fine. But like these are things in my head that are like red flags.
I need to figure this out. This is like a new breakup for me. Like I'm just like navigating it. I don't need someone telling me what has to happen.
And also she was like flipping out about, and she's so like insecure about my relationship with my ex. But in the meantime, whenever we talk about us, she's like, I don't want to be exclusive. Like I'm still like talking, and she's very open with the other guys she's talking to. Like I'm still talking to this guy and this guy, like, and she'll throw it in my face. Like he bought me like a PlayStation.
He bought me a PlayStation?
Yeah. She's like freaking out about like.
Yeah. That's
she'll like ask my friends.
So it sounds like she's very jealous.
She'll ask my
and
friends
insecure
if I'm seeing other people.
So she wants to be able to date other people, but she doesn't want you to. Like
seems that way.
Yeah, it seems that way. When you call her on it, like what do you say when she's like telling you about these other guys? You just take it?
I do call her out, and we have like arguments all the time.
Okay, you need to break up with this girl. This is like not it.
This is what she'll say. She'll be like, I'm on like a 6 month to a year plan with these guys. Like I want to be like best friends, and then after like 6 months, if I decide I want to get into a relationship.
Oh, so she's saying that they're her friends. They're not.
No, but like she goes back and forth. Like she wants to date someone who's like her best friend.
You need to end it with her. She is a walking red flag. She's dating other guys and you're just I guess you're dating other people too, right? Have you been, or were you really?
I like slowed down while I was in this situation.
No. You can't tolerate that. She's dating other people. She's rubbing it in your face, basically dangling it in front of you to get you to buy her things. And then you're not putting yourself out there. You're being way too nice to her. There's so many other people out there who will be excited about you. And I'm not saying like you have to be exclusive, like you just got out of a relationship if that's not the right path, but like the way she's treating you and then like bossing you around about how to handle your ex does not seem like it's a good fit. Yeah,
she was just the first one since my breakup that like I was more like emotionally invested, and we like had like, deep conversations and stuff like that.
I get it.
So
but you'll find that with other people.
And like she's just not maybe emotionally available for like a relationship dynamic.
You enjoy the challenge. Like, can I get her to be ready for the relationship? Yeah. Got it. So it's either like you're like in the friend zone and like that's the challenge, or it's like you're chasing someone who's not emotionally ready for the next thing.
Yes.
That's the first step though.
Yeah.
If not repeating it, is being aware of it. Did your ex fall into, I guess she fell into obviously the friend category because you guys ended up kind of like roommates. But at the beginning, did you have to chase her?
Yes, a little bit. There was another guy at the time that she was talking to.
And you went out.
I did that time, yes.
So you're like, okay, I can do this again.
Yeah, maybe that's where my like false confidence is from. But
well, I love the confidence. Like I want you to be confident in what you bring to the table. But part of that confidence is knowing that there are people out there who are going to meet you with where you're at and what you want, and being willing to walk away if she doesn't give that to you.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel like she's giving you what you want. And it feels like, to your point, there's a lot of red flags in her behavior that even if you did end up in an exclusive relationship, it might not work out.
Yeah. I've just been thinking recently, like, is she adding like value to my life? Like, I'm more like
That's a good
upset
question.
about my situation with her than happy about it.
Okay, I think it's time to cut that one.
We're out here. This is a good turning point. I'm on the show.
Yes.
I'm in Austin, meeting new people.
You're going to go on some great dates.
This is the new chapter.
Sometimes it just takes being reminded that like you have deep conversations with her and you really like her, and that's awesome. But you can find that with other people who are also have some of the other things you're looking for that she's missing, and not some of the bad parts.
It seems so like easy to say it, and then like when you're in it, it's like, you know.
Yeah, sometimes it just is like a requirement of ripping the Band-Aid off.
Yeah.
And like doing it. Yeah. And you can still think she's a great person. It's like, you're an awesome woman. You have a lot going on. I think you're like really fun to be around, but like this relationship isn't going like in the direction of what I'm looking for. Yeah. And frankly, I bet if you set that boundary there, she might start singing a different tune of like, wait, like...
But I don't want to even think of it that way.
No, I'm not... Like, don't do it for that reason. Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, be prepared. And then my recommendation is still to hold course and continue with, like,
don't jump back in.
Yeah, don't jump back in. You're not doing that to get her wanting more. You're doing that to, like, actually break up and, like, go find someone who can give you everything that you're looking for.
So that's the mindset I need.
Okay, Shawn, you've mentioned you're an overthinker and that sometimes gets in your way texting. Where do you feel like your biggest challenges lie within communication and texting?
I just don't come across like confidently and direct when I'm texting. It's just like, and I just overthink and the product of that is not like natural.
That's very true. And I feel like that's like when women say they get the ick, they're like, he's sending these long messages, he's not like decisive in his plans. Yeah. Do you feel like, does that apply?
Yeah, I think too much about like how long I should wait to text. When things have gone well and like I click with someone, I'm not even thinking about that. I'm just texting right away. They're like, it's just different vibe. But I get caught in the overthinking too much, especially when I'm like into somebody.
Like after the first date?
Yeah, after the first date.
What's your typical like post first date text?
I could pull up that one I did before where she's like, we didn't find a deeper connection.
Yeah, the one you went on the 10-hour date with.
She told me when she got home, she had a great time. And then I waited a day, and then the next day I said, hey, you want to just read it?
Yeah. Okay. Anyways. Home, thank you again. Glad you made it home safe. I had a great time tonight. Let's do it again soon. Okay. Good. Yeah, that's good. Because she texted you first. Do you like said?
Sometimes I overthink the after date text too.
She texted you first.
When she got in the car, like she said, I said,
like, let me know when you get home safe. Okay. That's, I like that because it continues the conversation. Glad you made it home safe. A great time tonight. Let's do it again soon. Straight to the point. Me too. Are you watching this right now?
Because we watched the first half of the Knicks game.
Yeah.
Before she left. So like the end was crazy.
This is where you should have stopped. You should have just left it at like...
It was so wild though. They blew like the biggest lead ever, like 2 minutes left.
Okay. So you were like, I like really need to like commiserate this with somebody. Okay. Well, we'll
maybe this was a little exception.
Yeah. We'll say this was the exception, but like no more texting. Like acknowledging her text would have been enough. Like just saying like, you could have even just hearted it and said like, great, let's do it again soon. Yeah. Short and sweet to the point. You continue, and then you say, pain, I can't believe that just happened. Bedtime, good night, Michaela, LOL. But we already know why. And then she said, happy birthday. It was your birthday.
Oh, my birthday was next day.
Yeah. Okay. And you said, thank you, Michaela, heart. Hey, you, what's your schedule looking like this weekend, early next week? Well, would you want to grab some food and go ice skating? I promise you'll be in good hands. Had you guys like talked about ice skating before?
We did on that first date.
Okay, so that's why you said you'll be in good hands. That's like kind of an inside joke.
She was nervous about ice skating. She'd never really done it before. So she's like, I'm just gonna be holding on to the wall, like, Got it. Okay, so I like that, and that's cute. And ice skating is a good date for me because I play hockey.
Oh yeah, so you're really good on their ice. Yeah. Okay, I actually really like that. And you can like help her, teach them, good for physical touch.
Exactly.
Okay, you're selling me on the ice skating. I was feeling a little iffy, but you were selling me on the ice skating date. And not as a first date, as a good like second or third date. I actually like the physical contact that it would bring. The hey you feels like a little, I'm okay with it. I don't know. It feels like a little, it's like on one hand can feel flirty, but also like maybe a little over comfortable given you've only been on one date.
It was like a 10-hour date though.
Yeah, I know exactly. So you felt like you'd been on 5 dates, and so had she, and she was like, there's no romantic chemistry. And then she sends her like long message back, and you said, hey, I really respect you being real and texting me that. Not everyone does. I wouldn't say you need to like remind her that like people text you that or like
well, I didn't
ghost
think
you.
my text mattered.
Yeah, at this point it doesn't. I appreciate the honesty. You're beautiful and fun to be around, and honestly, I felt a bit of a friend vibe too.
I did.
On your
I didn't get a
10-hour
kiss.
date. All good either way. You just wish you the best. Okay. Because I do feel like women are like, oh, like when guys are like, yeah, me too. Like, it's like the like, you can't quit, I fired you vibe, you
Is
know?
that what
like it comes off a little like, yeah, I wasn't interested in you either. I think you could have just said like, I really respect you being real. Like wishing you the best.
I could have. I just, I knew I was
everyone wants
talk
to like,
to her again at this point. So
you wanted to get the last word in?
I guess so. I don't know.
But here's the thing, like there's always a chance you're gonna like run into this woman again. Like you might travel in similar circles. You want to leave her feeling with like the best possible takeaway because you just don't know when you're going to see her again or like who you might know in common. And again, I'm not like, I don't want to make you feel bad about that text. It's like not a big deal. Like to your point, like you're probably not going to see her again, but it's common. And I hear women complain about that. Guys are then trying to be like, yeah, like I didn't either. And it's like, well, then why'd you ask me on a second date?
It's a very good
point. Yeah. So I think just keeping it really short and being like, thank you for the honesty. I respect that. Like wishing you the best is just like always the safest play, even if you did feel that way. Because if you're never getting rejected, you're probably not going on enough dates. Like some rejection, whether it's when you're approaching women or after dates, is bound to happen. It's part of dating. And so reframing that as like, it's not rejection, it's redirection. Now it's just, I've learned something from this and I can go and meet somebody else. It's one less woman I need to get to know to see if she could be the one.
Right.
It's a good way to think about it.
I want to just like make sure like I'm learning from every situation I'm in and just trying to like improve myself. So I decided to come on here.
I love it. I love it. Well, I feel like you are really self-reflective and you are good at being self-aware and looking at things that you could have done differently. And so I think for you, like some of the big things you can walk away from here is like, just remember like you're a catch. So like when you're approaching women, whether it's on a date or in real life, like doing so with confidence that comes out in your body posture and especially your tone and your voice. Those things are also going to help you stand out more as a boyfriend or as a romantic partner than the friend zone. Like say what you feel. Don't be afraid to set boundaries. And then leaving women wanting more, like always leaving the conversation or the date on a high. So that way you have another opportunity, like the next time you see them or on the next date to continue to build towards that chemistry, which will be especially helpful if you're continually getting like that friend vibe comment.
I'll remember that, like ending things on a high, whether it's a date or a phone call or even just like texting, all these situations that can apply. Yeah,
and those 3-hour FaceTimes, like do that too. And then lastly, like break up with that girl who's like the walking red flag. Your words, not mine.
Band-Aid that needs to still be ripped out.
I believe in you. This was the catalyst.
This is it.
Okay, Shawn, well, thank you so much for being here. Any final questions for me or thoughts?
No, this is good. It's been a really cool learning experience and I'm excited to like, get out there.
I'm excited too. You're gonna have to keep us posted on how. Wait, let's see if Christina texted you back.
She has not.
Okay. Well, then you'll just have to keep us updated and I'll give updates here. So if you want updates on Shawn's dating life, tune it back in. And if you enjoyed this episode and want more episodes like this, make sure you subscribe and hit the like button. Thanks for watching.